Manual process of sending a certificate is quite taxing. It might be certificate for attendance, certificate for participation, certificate for completing a course or a boot camp, or a certificate for writing an examination. So sending the certificate manually is quite taxing, especially when you want to send it to 10 individuals, 100, 50, 400, no matter the numbers. The time it takes to actually add the details of that individual into the certificate, their information, their name, and then attaching it to an email and sending it out to them, it's really, really a lot of work. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to send an email to individuals who you need to send a certificate to. I'll show you how to do that using Power Automate, how to automate the process that you do not need to go into the certificate and add the user's name and then going through the process of sending it to them. I'm going to show you how to automate all of this process. I'm also going to show you how to insert the name of the individual dynamically into your certificate. So for instance, you have 50 people and you want to make sure that each person that receives the certificate, they receive it with their name and their information. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to be showing you how to convert a doc file into PDF, where you can easily convert the certificate from a document file to a PDF. I'm also going to be showing you how to attach the certificates to an email and send it to them, that is in PDF format, sending it to them. And don't forget to watch the video to the end. I'm going to show you how to actually download the flow created in this video in my GitHub repository. So this is how the email is going to be looking like, where the individual will get their email with the certificates attached to the email. And as you can see, the certificate comes in a PDF format and it has the individual's name in that certificate. So even though you're sending the certificate to 100 people and you automate the process, each person is going to get their own information in their certificates. They are going to get their names in their certificates and any other thing that you want added to the certificate. Okay, so let's go ahead with building the solution. So the next thing I will tell you to do is that you need to upload the certificate you'll be using. You need to upload it to either a SharePoint document library or a OneDrive folder. So I advise you to do that. So for me, I actually have the certificate I'll be using in a SharePoint document library. And it has to be in a doc file format. So if you can see mine is actually in a doc file format. So try and make sure that you have that ready. And so if you can see, the next thing to do is that maybe you're sending your certificates to 10 people, 100 people. You need to make sure that each person that received this certificate, they actually receive the certificate with their own information, with their individual information, and there is no mix up. So what to do is that when you come to the place where your certificate is uploaded, you can just we have to edit it now. So you can edit it in app, you have to edit it in an app and not in your browser. So I'm just going to I already have mine open here. So you can see this is the certificate I'm using and it's currently in a doc format. So in Microsoft Word, from the custom ribbon, we have home, insert, draw, design, layout, references, mailing, review, and view. But yeah, we are going to be using the developer tab. And if you do not have the developer tab showing for you on Microsoft Word, that is fine. So let's make it possible for you. Just click on File, click on Options, and then go to Customize Ribbon at the left hand side of your screen, and at the center of your screen you can see developer. So just click on it and click on OK, and now you are going to have the developers tab here. So the next thing to do is that if you can see from this place, we have two places where we have capital letter A and capital letter A and small letter a. You can see these two. One is more bolder than the other, and this one is for rich text content control, and this is for plain text content control. So we are going to be using the plain text content control. And in this place, I want to dynamically add the names of the individuals that when they receive a certificate, they actually receive the certificate in their names. So I have to click on this A. So you can see it has click or tap here to enter text. So the next thing to do is click on properties. And you can name this place full name. On title, you can name it full name, you can name it name, anything you want to go for, you can do that. But make sure that what you have in title is also what you have on tag, and then click on OK. So you can see this is how it looks like. So you can see this is perfect. This is what we are looking for. This is fine. You can make it bolder if you want to. You can change the font. You can change the font size. You can reduce it. You can do anything you want to do to this. And also, if you want to add more information to your certificate, you can also do the same thing I just did here. Maybe for instance, we have here is that Microsoft Power Platform weekend classes. This certificate is awarded to, this is where the individual's name is going to be staying. And for your active attendance and hands-on project participation in the 4-week Microsoft Power Platform training. So if that you had different training, maybe you have training on Power Automate, on Power BI, training on Excel, and you want to make sure that that individual's track that the individual completed in the training shows, you can just clear this place and then repeat the same thing. Just right here, track, and then the same thing here, right track, and click on OK. So that is all you need to do. So I just want to show you, in case if you have more than one data you are entering, to let you know that it's not just on the individual's name that you need to do this. You can also dynamically add any other data you need inside of the certificate. So in this scenario, I do not need this. Okay. So this is perfect. Make sure to save. And if you already did not upload it to, so you can do this in two ways. If you have already not uploaded your certificates in OneDrive folder or in SharePoint document library, you can now download it and then upload it into your SharePoint document library or your OneDrive. So for me, I already have that already. So you can see I already have mine here. Okay, so I want to open it in browser and show you how it looks like. So this is the way it looks like. And if you can see, the reason why I'm not using the Microsoft Word Web, it's not possible to get the developer tab here on the custom ribbon. So that is the reason why I'm using the Microsoft Word application. Okay, so perfect. So the next thing to do is that the next thing I'll advise you to do, you need to have another folder. This is where the certificates that will be created with the Power Automate flow will be saved. So you need to have another folder, either created in SharePoint or in OneDrive. So for me, I have mine created in OneDrive. So it depends on what you want to go for. So now let's go to Microsoft Power Automate and create the flow. So I'm currently on make.powerautomate.com. So I'm just at the left side of my screen. I'll click on create. And if you can see, we have different types of flows here. We have automated cloud flow, we have instant cloud flow, and we have scheduled cloud flow. So it depends on what type of flow you want to create, like where is your data saved, or what are you planning to use. That is what will determine the type of flow you are going to use. So if you are using Microsoft Form, if you want in a scenario that when an individual fills a form, you want them to automatically get a certificate, then you need to use an automated cloud flow, and your trigger needs to be when when a new response is submitted, if that is what you want. But in this scenario, I already have I already have my data collected and saved in a SharePoint list. And I want to run everything instantly, that everybody gets their certificate instantly. So I don't want to wait that they have to individually fill their data in a form before getting their certificate. So that is the reason why I'm using an instant cloud flow. And if you have any question concerning this stage of the process, you can easily ask a question on the comment section and I will be happy to help you. So click on the instant flow, and then my trigger here is going to be manually trigger a flow. Click on create. So I'm going to change this from new designer to the classic designer. So I just went to the right side of my screen where there is new designer and unchecked this place. So after the manually trigger a flow, click on new step, search for get items. So like I told you, I have my data saved in SharePoint. So I just need to look for my SharePoint site, communication site, and then look for my SharePoint list. So you can see this is my SharePoint site and my SharePoint list. So that is all I need to do in this action, this get items action. Click on new step, search for the action apply to each. Click on it. When you have select an output from previous step, click on the box, go to your dynamic content at the right side of your screen. And then we are going to be getting the data from the get items and we are using value. So in case if you are not seeing yours, I'm just going to show you. You can search on the search bar for value and then click on it. And then next thing to do is inside of the apply to each, click on add an action, search for the word online business and look for the action populate a Microsoft Word template. So what this is going to be doing for us is that if you notice from the certificate templates that we had in Microsoft Word, we created a dynamic value for full name. So we wanted that as many individuals we have that we are sending the certificates to, they all get a personalized format of their certificates with their information and details. So we want to use this particular action to populate the certificates. So we have location here. Click on the drop down. And then for me, the location is actually where is your template saved. For me, I have mine saved in SharePoint document library. So I have to select, first of all, select the SharePoint site. So if you have yours saved in OneDrive, you can select OneDrive for business. And then the next question is the document library. So what document library do I have mine saved? I have mine saved in documents. And then the file, I have to select the file. My file is saved inside of a folder called certificates, and then click on it. So you can see Microsoft Word Power Platform Weekend Classes Certificates. So you can, that what we just did, you can see the full name here. So I just have to click on it. And you can also notice we have click or tap here to enter the text. So that's the way it looks like here, where we have click or tap here to enter text. So that's what we are doing. So I'm just going to look for the column where I have my name saved. So yours might be different. You might have the names of the individuals you are sending the certificate saved in name, in first name, in last name, whatsoever column that you have their name saved. That is fine. So if you have it that the properties, the name saved in your certificate template is different from the name you have in your column, like your column name in either your Excel file or your SharePoint list, it is fine. It does not affect it. So I'm going to click on full name. So now this is now perfect. The next thing to do is click on add an action. We are still using the apply to each action. So click on add an action, find the action create file. So after populating the certificate template, we want to create files. So inside of the folder format, click on the folder icon, click on root, and then select certificates. So for me, I already have a folder created in OneDrive called certificates. So that's the reason why I'm selecting certificates. The file name. So here they're asking you, what do you want to name the file? For me, I want to name it the name of the person and then name it certificate. Always remember to put a space so that it will not be joined together when they get their certificate. Because if I do not have a space after that dynamic content, after the full name, and if I leave it together, it's going to look not well organized when the individual gets the certificate. So always remember to put a space. So after the certificate, add a path which is docs. So if you can see on this populate a power Microsoft Word template, you can see it's added here automatically. So for this point, you need to do it on your own. And if you are not seeing it clearly, so that's the way it looks like. So the next thing is the file contents. So the file content is coming from the dynamic contents of the populate a Microsoft Word template. So you can see it's Microsoft Word documents. And now we need to convert our file from doc file to PDF. So you need to use the action. So you need to use the action convert file. Click on it. And our file, we need to use the unique identifier of the file. So it's from the create file action, we are getting the dynamic content called ID. That is what we are using here. And this next action we are going to be using is optional. So the reason why I'm using this action is that I want everything I'm doing to be documented. I want everything I'm doing to be documented. That the populated certificate template will be saved in both a PDF format and a doc file format inside of my OneDrive folder. So that's the reason why I'm going to be using the next action, which is called create file. So after converting the file to a PDF, I also want to save that file that has been converted to a PDF inside of my OneDrive. So our file name is going to be coming from the action file name, and our file content is going to be coming from the dynamic content of the convert file action file contents. And this is the last action that we are going to be using, and the action is called send an email v2. So this action, what we are using this action to do is to send an email to the individuals, with their PDF, with their certificates attached to their email, and it will be coming in a PDF format. So, and this send an email v2 action, it's just your normal, when you are sending an email normally, because you have to write the name of the email you are sending it to. You have to write the subject of the email, and on body you have to write the content of the email. So on the top part of it, I'm going to be using a dynamic content. In my SharePoint list, I have a column called email address where I stored the emails of the individuals I want to send a certificate to. Then on the subject, I want to name this Microsoft Power Platform Weekend Classes. And then the body of the email, full name. I want to make it personalized. Congratulations on completing the Microsoft Power Platform Weekend Classes. Okay, so I just want to end it. And regards, you can have more details to your email. So then the next thing to do is to actually attach the PDF of the certificates. So you can do that by clicking on the show advanced option in the send an email to action. You go to attachment name and then search for file name. This is coming from the convert file action. Please take notice of this. You can see it is coming from the convert file action. So click on it. And then for attachment contents, search for file contents. It's also coming from the convert file action. So click on file contents. And now click on save. So this is perfect. This is what we are looking for. And there's one thing I want you to also know is that, especially if you are sending your certificates to more than 100 people, or maybe you are sending your certificates to 300 people, 400 people, make sure to do this. Go to your action. You might be using a get items action here. You might be using maybe your data of your individuals is saved in an Excel sheet and you have it uploaded in either OneDrive or a SharePoint document library. I want you to go to that action, click on the three dots, go to settings, and then increase the pagination. Turn on the pagination, add a number. It might be 300, it might be 400 you want to add it, and then click on done. So just want you to take notice of that. Okay. So in case if you are sending the certificates to a large number of people, try to, so that every person you are sending that certificate to, they will all receive the certificate. So now let's run the flow. Click on test at the right hand side, click on manually, and then click on test. Now click on run flow. Click on done. So we're waiting for it to run. I'm going to show you how everything looks like. Okay, so you can see it took the flow 20 minutes 20 seconds to run. So yours might take a longer number of time. It might take 4 minutes, 3 minutes, depends on how many people you are sending the certificates to. So for me, I'm sending to just 3 people. So you can see everything ran well. Everything ran well, and I want to check the email. So this is the email, this is the certificate received, and also this is the email. So hi Jane, congratulations on completing the Microsoft Power Platform weekend classes. So you can see it's personalized. It comes in her name, and she's like, okay, this, you see, this is perfect because the person gets the email in their name, and also their certificate contains their information. And if you check on your OneDrive, what I said I wanted to do, I wanted to have a documentation of everything that happened. So these are the persons I sent the certificate to. You can see for Bridget Luke, this is her own certificate, and she has the one sent to her in a PDF format. So this is it. I want it saved in my folder. Okay, and the next thing I want to show you is that the flow that we just created in this video, I saved it in my GitHub repository. So you can come here and download it, and the link to this GitHub repository is added to the description of this video. So, and this is how to download it. So this place, automate certificate power automate flow, this is the flow. Just click on it and then click on this icon where we have download raw file, and you'll be able to download it. And if you want to know how to import the flow into your own environment, you can check out my video on how to export and import Power Automate flows. And then if you want to download the certificate templates I used in this video, go to the certificate templates folder, click on it, and then you can download it here. So thank you so much for watching my video, and see you in my next video. Bye.